Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. That's Emery Hunt, the Czar of the Playbook, and I'm Tyler Merkovich, and we're bringing you our 2010 season preview for the Kansas City Chiefs. 4 wins last year. Of course, new head coach Todd Haley is very confrontational. The team didn't take it into liking last year, but they lost a lot of close games, including the last 3 were by a touchdown or less. The O-line was disastrous. The defense had problems all over the place. This year, they bring in two new coordinators, and Charlie Weiss as offensive and Romeo Crennel as defensive, and they're going to rely on some vets, but they want to unleash some of the young players, especially on defense. But offense, Matt Castle, 14-16 as a starter, struggled last year. Everything was at the bottom on offense except rush offense. 120, that was good for 11th in the NFL. So they add Thomas Jones as a big power back to complement Jamal Charles, who really came around as a great, really explosive back last year.
Well, you look at the quarterback spot. I'm gonna start with Castle. He has to improve. They paid him $60 million. He has to prove it. But to his defense, the receivers didn't help out a lot. They dropped everything thrown to him, so they have to really help out Castle a lot. But Castle has to take the next step. He holds onto the football a little bit too long, so he has to get rid of football quickly, especially in the Todd Haley offense. He's used to having Kurt Warner, 1, 2, 3, boom, ball is out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, ball is out. That has to be, something that he has to add to his arsenal this year. And I also like the running back duo, but also Thomas Jones and Jamal Charles. But don't discount the fact that they did draft Dexter McCluster. He's going to also play a little bit running back and wide receiver. So they really and also Kobe Smith, guy that's returning back from injury. So that's in Javaris Williams out of Tennessee State. So they have some depth at running back. The running back situation is going to be fine. Jamal Charles is going to get the bulk of the carries. Thomas Jones is going to do what Thomas Jones does. He's going to cross 10,000 yards this year, so that should put him in line for the Hall of Fame down the line. But I like their running back. They're very, very solid at the running back spot.
And wide receiver Chris Chambers is a big pickup from San Diego last year. They got him off waivers. They'll team up with Dwayne Bowe, who's a little disappointing this past year. McCluster, of course, second-round draft pick. They're planning to use him at wide receiver and running back. He'll probably help in the pass game. They draft Tony Moikai, Iowa tight end, 3rd round. He'll battle Brad Cottle. But this offensive line really needs to turn it around. Brandon Albert needs to get his confidence back at left tackle. Brian Waters, left guard. They drafted a guy for behind him, Illinois right guard John Asamoah in the 3rd round. Rudy Niswanger will start at center with he'll battle Casey Wigman, who they picked up from Denver, which was big, and Ryan Littlejohn, they pick him up from Indianapolis, will start at right guard, and Ryan O'Callahan at right tackle. So this O-line really needs to make improvements because Castle was getting killed last year.
Yeah, the O-line, to their credit, got better as the season went on, which is why the running game picked up a little bit more and Castle looks better in the pocket. But so the O-line got better, and I think they're going to carry that over to this season. Right guard is the biggest battle with Wigman, Littlejohn, also Asamoah, the rookie out of Illinois. So that's the biggest thing to watch. Who's going to start at right guard? But I think the O-line is going to be better this year, and that way they'll start the season a lot better than they did last season. The wide receivers, what can you say? They have to catch, but Chris Chambers was an outstanding pickup for those guys. The rest of the wide receiving corps have to catch the football. You can't put your offense in backed up situations. Catch the football the first time is only going to hit you once. So don't be afraid to catch it. It's not like you catching the octagon or catching the basket. It's a football. Catch it, take it away, move the football down the field.
Put it away and cradle it. Right. Defensive side of the ball, Romeo Crennel takes over the trendy 3-4, of course. Disappointing defensive line. They use high draft picks such as Glenn Dorsey. They really can't find a home for him in the 30 front. He's playing end alongside his former LSU teammate Tyson Jackson on the other side. But they pick up Sean Smith from Cincinnati to play at nose tackle. Ron Edwards will battle him and probably get some time also there. So what do you think about that front three?
Tyson Jackson is the one I have questions about. He needs to come to the table. Dorsey is a guy that needs to be in the 4-3. And so you really can't find a spot for him. Even though he looked a little bit better last year, but he's playing out of position. Tyson Jackson, what they drafted him for, specifically for this defense, he has to step up and play better. That's why they drafted you in the top 10. And you look at the linebackers, I like the fact that Javon Belcher is a solid backup, and adding Studebaker. 2 solid backups, guys that may push for starting spots, but they are really, really good. And we mentioned, Derek Johnson, another outstanding linebacker.
Tamba Ali, best outside linebacker.
Exactly. he made the effortless switch from DN to outside linebacker and did exceptionally well. And also, another guy that was a standout last year in the as a linebacker. I want to say Corey Mays, another guy that was a lot of pop at the linebacker spot, but they do have some depth, in their
Mike Vrabel's a veteran outside linebacker there. Their strength is in the secondary. This is a young and up-and-coming secondary. Defense was 30th overall, 31 against the rush, 22nd against the pass, and tied for 60 interceptions with 15. Brandon Flowers out of Virginia Tech leads them. Brandon Carr really coming around. And in the second round, they draft Javier Arenas to be their nickel back. He's also going to play a lot of special teams. But their first round pick, 5th overall, was Eric Berry at strong safety. He'll team up with, who knows, Jared Page, John McGraw, maybe even Kendrick Lewis, a 5th round pick out of Mississippi. So this is a young, up-and-coming secondary that could really ball haul.
Well, I love the secondary. It went from a weakness to a strength. Brandon Carr, Brandon Flowers, two guys that is athletic, fast, and has ball skills.
Brandon bro is really coming around.
You bring in Javier Arenas. I liked him a lot at Alabama. Perfect nickel cornerback, guy that's scrappy, quick, agile, and can make plays on the ball and loves to tackle. So you get him close to the line of scrimmage. He can also blitz effectively and make tackles close to the line of scrimmage. Also keep an eye on Rashard Landford down there in the secondary. He's going to help out that. He's going to probably man the other safety spot outside of Berry. So now you have solid secondary. If they can figure out how to get pressure on the quarterback, the secondary is going to clean up the mess. They're going to be solid in that back half of that defense for the Chiefs. I can't wait to see these guys play football.
Well, Steve Hoffman really needs to improve the return game because they were 27th in punt return average and 25th in kick return average. This is why they drafted Arenas purposely for a return, but he's going to be a great nickel guy also. And kicker Ryan Suckup really showed off his leg last year, and punter Dustin Colquitt is pretty good. So special teams has a lot to look forward to improving.
Yeah, kicking game is going to be solid. Return game is going to be special. You can even toss Jamal Charles out there, but that's why they drafted McCluster and Arenas. Those two guys are going to handle kickoff and punt return game. Both probably the best returners in the country.
Yeah, they played in the SEC too, which everyone is fast, especially on special teams.
And you have to be fast. And Arenas a guy that can make you miss and also runs with some power. He probably should have got a little bit of time at running back at Alabama. He's a stocky guy, but their special teams is going to be outstanding this year, all the way around.
And for Kansas City, hopefully they can improve on that 4-win mark for Todd Haley, and they bring the coordinator, so something to look forward to for the Arrowhead fans.
If the Chiefs receivers can catch the football, the offense is going to look a lot better. What we know right now about the Chiefs, they can run the football. They have some talented running backs. They can, play solid in the secondary, and they have some athletic linebackers that can make plays. They have to stop the run, and they have to be able to catch the football. So I think they'll be fine.
31 in sacks, only 22 last year, so they need to attack that, and the secondary will even get better. I mean, they're only 22nd in the pass game, tied for 16 interceptions because of that.
They're going to look a lot better this year as opposed to what they did last year. Trust me.
For more, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL or check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan.